Well, all the South African batsmen have showed a slightly freer approach to batting this morning than they have in previous tests, and you would normally think that Hansi Cronje would have a little bit of a look first.
What's that delivery? There was a little noise and gone. Venkat doesn't hesitate for a moment, and another softish dismissal down the leg side. Hansi Cronje, the South African captain, out.
Well, I think the West Indies bowlers have found a weakness here in the South African batsman. Ball angled down the leg side, off the glove, and it was Gary Kirsten early on. In fact, that's off the bat, coming off the almost the face of the bat as he looked to glide it down the leg side. We've seen Walsh give the batsman the balls on the leg stump, and we've seen a few glides which have gone very close to the keeper. This one has gone to the keeper. A wicket for Dillon in his first over. Partnership broken, 65 for 4.
It's his 41st Test match. He is closing in on 2,000 runs. He needs to 79 to achieve that, averaging 33. Oh, there's trouble here. Rhodes wants a single. I don't know where from. I really don't know where Jonty Rhodes was going then. We know he's quick. See where it's played to, off the back foot to gully. And Rhodes, look, 3/4 of the way, certainly 2/3 of the way down the pitch, and miles out had he hit. The bowler certainly didn't have time to get to the stumps and take the bails off then. He had to release the ball. But whoa. Okay, settle down, boys. There we are. There's the third man area that we had spoken about, but that's not a criticism. At 70 for 4, you've got to have all people catching and in the right places. Where did that go? That's gone second slip area.
Well, I know they've spoken about Jonty Rhodes early on, and I'm very surprised that they don't have in a third slip. They know that he's going to go down in that area. They've talked about it. He scored a number of his early runs down into the third man area. That's a third slip catch right into his lap. And now he comes in. That's a lapse in concentration on the part of Lara, I feel. They've talked about it. He's just come in.
That's past the wideish mid-off, and they'll certainly get 2. Rhodes will look for 3 and get it comfortably. In fact, the ball goes for 4. That was extraordinary. Was the fielder particularly slow then, or did he time that a bit sweeter than I thought?
Well, I think the fact that Courtney Walsh was the fielder, quite clearly he doesn't want to extend himself in the outfield. It was in the outfield that he strained a hamstring at Kingsmead. And a faster fielder, let's say Rhodes, for instance, would have reached that easily. But understandable that Walsh doesn't want to stretch himself.
Driven through the covers for, no hesitation, nobody need run for it. Ball boy can throw it back. Just over pitching and punished by Jonty Rhodes.
Well, that would have to be one of the best shots of the day. We saw the 6 from Kallis. That's a perfect cover drive. That left the leg right out to the pitch of the ball. Long half volley. Now the bowler of this pace, having just got one climbing up to his chest and fending it off, still he has the confidence to reach out to this one and go for the drive. Good long stride.
It's going to be, it'll be 4. There's no third man. He wouldn't have got round, I don't think, if he was too fine. That was forced away just backward a square on the offside and to the boundary.
Yes, your margin of error on this wicket is going to be very small for the bowlers, certainly as the ball gets a little bit older.
This has gone straight up in the air, and he's got a man underneath it, and he's gone. Caught at mid-on, and Jonty Rhodes will be furious with himself. And I think we've got to give some credit here to the bowler, Dillon. He saw what his intentions were, and he lured him into it. and he did get that one outside the off stump and forced him to have a go.
If you're going to bowl a short delivery and the batsman is a compulsive hooker, either get it up high above his shoulder so that he's not in control of the shot, or like that one, wide of the off stump, and Jonty Rhodes will be furious with himself, I'm sure, but he perishes as he often bats in an aggressive mode. 98 for 5.
Shaun Pollock, just 25 years old, and for a fast bowler to have an average of almost 30 in Test match cricket, that's pretty useful. Yet to get a Test 100 though. This is beautifully played. First ball, he's got it away for 4. Lovely timing. Full delivery on about leg stump, and he just packed it away just forward of square.
Courtney Walsh shakes his head, and the idea when you get the new batsman there, keeping on naught for as long as possible, let that pressure build. But he's dished him up a leg side half volley. It's a good shot though. He opens up nicely, gives himself room to play the shot, and he's able to keep it down all the way.
He's going down towards third man, which is vacant. He's travelling quite quickly, and it's going to win the race. Or has he caught it? No, he dropped it. He nearly had it. Cullis is going to get away with a single, and he's going to get 4 overthrows. Oh, my goodness me. Well, he ends up with 5, and he might have been out. This came very firmly off the bat, straight into the breadbasket. It looked as though for a moment he might have miraculously caught it, because it went very, very quickly, and then it got away. Philo Wallace, a great effort there, and then a dreadful, wild throw, and it's 4 overthrows. This is a bad ball, short outside the off stump, similar to the one that got Jonty Rhodes, but this time it's correctly played by Shaun Pollock. He doesn't try and pull or hook it, he just gets the bat right over the top of it and cracks it away on the offside for 4.
Turning into a bit of a dream start here for Shaun Pollock. He's now got a long hop outside the off stump. He's had a half volley on leg stump, and he's raced to 12, 3 boundaries.
Straight down the ground. Lovely shot by Jacques Cullis. As good a shot as we've seen all day, and it's 4 runs. And it ends Walsh's 12th over. 120 for 5.
Quite fine. Darren Ganger is down there. Youngest and one of the quickest in the West Indies outfield, as he should be. The end of the over. South Africa 123 for 5. So Rhodes, the batsman, out since the interval, since lunch. Went for 24.
South Africa could do with a good innings from young Pollock. He's a sort of all-rounder coming in late order that will take the attack to the bowlers. He'll counter-attack, and if he has a good hour, then the scoreboard will rattle along. You usually find that guys who bowl well, when they can bat well, as they come in and they play shots.
Lara the catcher. Walsh picks up his 3rd wicket, and South Africa are 123 for 6 now, with Pollock going straightforward catch, and Courtney Walsh strikes again.
Well, he's a bit cross with himself, but it was a quality delivery, this, from Walsh. It held its line. Look, it's like a leg cutter. He might have got himself into a little bit of an awkward chest-on position, but that was a beautiful delivery. The ball had a lot better players than Pollock. Easy catch for Brian Lara. No shame in getting out to a good ball like that. 123 for 6.
So the new batsman, Mark Boucher, just taking his guard from umpire Rudy Kurtzen. And his batting hasn't quite lived up to his usual standards in the series so far. So the West Indies have picked up 2 wickets since lunch, Rhodes and Pollock, but Callis remains there. Sheet anchor of the innings, 38. And he takes strike now from Dillon. Dived over it, 4 runs. Couldn't time it all that well, and that's another drive down the ground, as we saw from Callis earlier off Walsh. Another superb stroke.
Yeah, it was a juicy half volley. Just hit straight through the line, and because of the angle, it went on the onside. This is a learning process for young Dillon. Not played many test matches. He's either a bit short or he's right up there.
Got it through. The mid-off was standing very wide indeed because of the silly mid-off. And that was pushed straight through the orthodox mid-off position. So Boucher gets off the mark.
You see, look, that's a sloppy delivery. 5 very good balls. He knows it. He knows it was a shocker. Halfway down the pitch, and anybody could have walloped it. 134 for 6.
It's a very sloppy piece of fielding by King. Very badly misjudged. The anticipation was wrong. Then he tried to stop it with his boot. That's not what Test cricket is all about. And especially after you've just had a leg before decision, very, very close turn down. Batsman comes forward, just pushes it down the ground, and King makes a mess of it at mid-on.
Hit that well. And Dillon is chasing, but the ball is running away from him over this lightning outfield. And that's a lovely straight drive by Boucher.
Remarkable outfield, this really is. I wouldn't have said that's come out of the sweetest part of the bat. Little sort of half the left side of it, certainly not the inside edge of it.
Oh, that is beautifully hit for 4 runs to give Jacques Kallis another Test match half century. Raises his bat, and it's of rich value this innings. Whilst the remainder of the top order have failed, Jacques Kallis has played quite superbly. This is how he went there.
Perfectly balanced, poised, an accurate stroke. Long hop, back into position, roll the wrists, and raise your bat. Well played, young man.
And that'll be runs down to backward point, 4 of them for Jacques Kallis, beautifully timed. And that's the loosener from McLean. And when you've got 50 odd, you've got to hit those for 4, as Kallis did there.
He's got this one through the covers, lovely shot. Hitting it on the up and placing it perfectly.
Well, the good thing about Mark Boucher as a batsman is that he has got the ability to almost play, I feel, for South Africa purely as a batsman. He's got the class, he's got the shots, and really should be a matter of time before he starts scoring runs regularly again for South Africa.
This is away through mid-wicket. Just forward a square, really, and it's gone to the boundary. Nicely timed.
Not always easy for a right-hander to keep the ball down when playing on the leg side. Takes a lot of skill, and your balance has got to be 100% correct.
This is fine enough to go to the boundary for 4. There's another one. It beats Hooper, and sloppy fielding is allowing them to get more than they should have. There was only 1 there, and they end up getting 3. Courtney Walsh the guilty party. 182 for 6.
Stick edge, no slip, 4 runs. And did I see Philo Wallace pull up then a little bit or not?
He looks to have a little bit of a limp there. Goes to cut it, gets a little bit thinner edge than he wants, but no slip, so it's not a problem.
Yes.
He's got a problem as the fielder. I'm sure that Philo Wallace has got a little strain there.
End of the over, 197 for 6. That's a lucky for Mervyn Dillon. There's a bit of bad luck there. Bottom edge from Boucher. Another day the ball will crash into the stumps. Today it didn't. Brings up the South African 200. That's a beautiful shot. Be difficult to fault that. 4 runs. 205 for 6. That's good batting. He just gave him half a chance, didn't he? That was, what, 2 inches wide of off stump. The first ball that looked like missing off stump, and Cullis managed to just steer it down.
Here's one, and straight into the hands of the man at backward square leg, and not a particularly good delivery, and Jacques Cullis hitting it straight into the hands of the man at backward square leg, and he'll consider that to be a pretty soft dismissal, and the 7th wicket down at 215.
It's short. He really could have hit it anywhere. He really should have hit it down if he was going to hit it at all, and picked out the man a simple catch. And after all the hard work which Cullis has done, it's been a very solid innings. That is a very disappointing way to get out. 215 for 7. The West Indies have made the break.
Hans Klusener, who's had injury problems, but is back in business now, playing in his 17th Test match. And as a man who comes in this low down the order, pretty useful average of 28.7. But this is his first innings of note in the Test series, and here's going to be 4 more. And he's the one that hit the boundary since the tea break. That's his 5th since tea.
Just cannot help but bowl the bad ball. Dillon has tightened up. He's been struck twice square by Boucher. He's very strong on the cut shot, and there it is again. And these are good batting conditions now.
That's cut away and will go to the boundary, and it will bring Boucher his 4th Test 50. Well, it'll be a big relief for Boucher. He's kept wicket well enough, and although he's been making runs for Border, he has not had a good series with the bat for South Africa. This one he gets wide of the fielder, and it goes down to the boundary to bring up his 50.
Shouts of catch it from Hooper when he saw the cut shot. He is getting some bounce on this. You saw Ridley Jacobs jumping when that ball pitched. And Boucher did hit it in the air, but he got it well clear of the fielder. Good innings by him, very important innings by him, not only for him personally, but also from the team point of view. He came in when South Africa was struggling before the tea break. Pollock had gone. It was 123 for 6 when he came in. It's now 224 for 7, and he's got 52.
Lance Klusener, a very attacking player, and he looks to get after the bowlers from the moment he gets out there.
Very strong man. Tremendous hitter of the ball. Not only has he got 100 in tests, but he's also got one in one-day internationals where he bats higher up the list. And a very good right-arm swing bowler at pace. So many South Africans, and that's what is their strength. Can do both. Good all-round players.
It's 4 runs.
Off the edge, and frustration for Dillon. New batsman in, 228 for 7. Surely it was worth having an additional slip in. Not even a gully. Now we'll have it after the horse has bolted.
Now that's a magnificent shot. Pulls it through mid-wicket for 4 to end the over at 237 for 7. Oh, he's dropped him. He's dropped at slip by chance that really should have been taken.
Well, first slip fielder, not Brian Lara, who is usually there. He's at extra cover. Floyd Reefer it is. Took that very good catch early in the day at third slip. Cut outside edge into the lap. And Floyd Reefer, who I've very seldom seen in that position before, put it down. Lara himself is usually there.
Another short one, it's pulled away. The fielder just got a hand to it, but he hit it so hard that it wasn't enough to take the pace off it, and it still finds the boundary rope.
And they're bowling to Boucher, who is just waiting on that back foot. Rocks back, and very good puller, very good cutter. They know that. They've played against him at Border. They bowled him short there. He delighted in the short pitch bowling. And look, he's just waiting for that ball to be short, and he's put it away yet again.
Another short one though, and it's 4 more, pulled away through mid-wicket. This is shocking bowling by Rion King.
It really shouldn't be that difficult. These are bowlers who have now reached the top level of the game, and they're just feeding him. And he's saying thank you very much. He's moved to 66 now. And King is not the only one who has been guilty. So has Dillon, McLean to an extent as well. All 3 of them. Walsh hasn't come back. He was off the field for some time, so disqualified from bowling for the period for which he was off the field.
Again, it's short. Only because of the fact that he's got protection in the form of the sweeper out there. Does it not go for 4?
With 1 down to deep cover. Brings up the 250. Well, what's happening here is that Lance Klusener has come to the wicket, and he's been allowed to get off strike far too easily in a way.
It's gone for the pull again, but this time there's a man down, so just 1.
Not easy to to decide now which way is Brian Lara gone. Is he trying to contain? Is he trying to get wickets? If he is, how is he trying to plan the downfall of the batsman? Not quite sure if he's in cahoots at this stage with his bowlers.
He's put it away with bat and pad. Might look for a second roll. Lewis is down at long leg, the 12th man, and they will get 2. It's a lovely shot from Mark Boucher. Beautifully played. Races away over this smooth outfield.
The sign of a quality batsman is that you're comfortable off both front and back foot, and he's shown today that if you drop it short, well, he's extremely powerful through mid-wicket, and then he's played some delightful extra cover drives as well. So difficult to bowl to on a good batting pitch. With not much movement through the air, the ball is old, he can really take you apart, which is such a huge advantage to have these kind of guys coming in at number 8 and 9 in your batting order.
Yes.
Now there might be a second here. In fact, there are 4.
Well, do you think Pat Simcox would have been as cool and calm had something like this happened when he was bowling? I don't think so.
It's Rian King down at deep backward square leg. So Boucher goes to his high score in Test cricket.
Come on, guys, let's do it.
He made 50s in his first 3 home Test matches against Pakistan. A terrific series. That's delicately played. 3 for chasers.
So that's the 50 partnership, of which Boucher really has played the senior role. Klusner content to bide his time and give the strike where possible to Boucher.
Nicely timed, a couple of runs down to deep square.
Shots all round the wicket.
Nick Pretorius takes out the new ball. And it should be in use probably at the end of this next over.
If you've only just joined us, that's the situation. South Africa put into bat by Brian Lara this morning and in trouble for most of the day, but now a recovery due to Jacques Kallis, 83, contributions from Cronje and Rhodes, and Mark Boucher, 84 not out. The new ball will be taken. 80 overs exactly have been bowled. Next to me, Geoffrey Boycott, and this game's got away from the West Indies, Jeff.
Yes, you first of all I've got to compliment the 2 players who played specifically well. Kallis, I thought, played really well, grafted hard. Young Boucher, yeah, they bowled to his strength, but even so, he's done the job.
Oh, what a fantastic delivery. Goodness gracious me. Whether you're left or right-handed, you've got a problem with that.
Well, it looked like one of his leg cutters that came back at the left-hander. Cut him in half, yeah. But after the way they bowled with the new ball this morning, this is a poor performance by West Indies to let South Africa get away. Yeah, that's a leg cutter to the right-hander. Just coming back in.
And, well, yes, yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't a big appeal because it was pretty 9-5. So within 3 balls of the second new ball, Wall strikes again. Klusner's the man to go. What a wonderful bowler he is.
Yes, Lance Klusner looked a little bit rusty. He's been out of Test cricket for a while. He's nowhere in line. See, the back foot goes outside leg stump, and then he comes across, and it looks as if he's got just a fine little tickle onto that. Everybody round about the batsman seemed to know. The batsman himself just took a little while to leave in disappointment. 270 for 8.
Alan Donald's pedigree. 52 test matches he's played in. No average of anything, but just contributions like that one there. 34 is best in the Port Elizabeth test match on a pitch that went around a bit. Good running from Boucher. He's looking for two and he'll get it comfortably. That's good cricket. He knew he'd played it softly.
Well, that's good cricket, but I'm sorry, I can't believe that you got a new ball in your hand, quick bowlers. Batsman, tail-end batsman, even if he is batting well, and you spread the field out. You've got 4 on the boundary, 3 other guys that are saving 2. No, I don't think that's smart. I think it just takes the pressure off. You've got to fancy your chances. If you're a test match fast bowler, new ball in your hand, I don't care if the tail-ender's got 80-odd runs.
That's a good shot. It'll only be 1. Just remind you too that the bowler's got 395 wickets.
I think when you spread the field out, you bowl like that, don't you? I was never a bowler, but I think I knew about batting and how the mental approach was to batting. Somebody spread the field out to me, I'm thinking, well, they don't fancy getting me out.
Running hard, they'll get 4. Don't have to run. It's flown through third slip.
Yeah, he's putting back to ball. Does right. They've spread the men out. There's no pressure on. I don't like this sort of captaincy. I think you've got to bowl people out. You really have to get stuck in him. I don't care the way the young man's played, and he's played really well. 93 not out, terrific innings when his team's in trouble, just like Callis. But you've got to try and bowl him out with a new ball.
There's a nice simple run. Nice to go through the 90s, isn't it, in singles, hey? One off the toe end. If you're going to flash hard. That'll take Boucher to 98, I think. Over the top of slit. It goes from 94 to 98 and to 500 test runs. Now all the field come in. That'll be 99. That's it. His maiden 100. What a wonderful innings, not only for him. There's the feeling he must be feeling is undescribable, but what's so special is that he came to the crease at 123 for 6, and he's still there at 296 for 8. Well played, Mark Boucher. "16 fours, 44 scoring shots, 182 deliveries. Driven away by Donald this time. That'll be 4. And the 300-er. What is reasonably remarkable about the day's play is that South Africa have been with their backs to the wall for the majority of it, certainly the first session and most of the second session. They've still managed to score at 3.5 and over.
Yeah, they've lost the game in this last session, particularly of West Indies. They've scored 114 runs.
Here's the place for the bat pad, and the forward short leg. And that was Alan Donald's 500th test run. 301 for 8. There we see them. 92, the partnership, Callison, Boucher. 55, Boucher and Klusner. Klusner didn't get a lot of runs in that 55. And now Boucher and Donald, 32, and Donald scored 9 of them. But that's the end of it. Nicely caught by Brian Lara, had to dive forward, but a wonderful innings from Mark Boucher.
The ball gets a bit big on him. New ball off the seam. I'm trying to keep it down, but I don't think he can blame himself there. The ball did get big. As a tall man, is Courtney Walsh. Lovely innings. .302 for 9.
Let's not forget, as we see Paul Adams' test match career with the bat, scored exactly 100 runs at an average of 5. That 29 was in partnership with David Richardson and helped win the test match in Cape Town and the series against England. Disappointing fielding.
No, it's casual, it's sloppy. You know, the bowlers are working hard and, you know, it's just being clever, thinking you pop one hand down. You've got plenty of time to get 2 hands to this. Be safe rather than sorry. No, he was going to go with 2, and then he thought, no, I'll be clever, won't I? And then he looks an idiot.
Attempt in the gully. Walsh looking for 6 wickets.
I think that was a chance. Not easy, had to make a bit of ground to his right, but I think that was in the air. He might even have got his hands to this, or it went through them. Yeah, I thought so. I think that was very much catchable.
Well, Alan Donald and Paul Adams had to endure some hairy, scary stuff at the end of the innings, end of the day's play with Walsh. And
That is going to give any batsman a problem. Any batsman a problem. He played it very nicely. That's it. That's that corridor that Geoffrey Boycott talks about. And it's a nice, comfortable catch. And the first wicket goes down in the West Indies innings with the total on 1.
If you bowl 6 balls and over on this line and this length in the corridor, I don't care how good a batsman you are, when you're starting your innings against a new conker, look at that, that's just outside the stump, you've got to play it, it's left him, it's bounced just a touch, and it's like catching cuckoos, isn't it, at second slip? It's easy. Done him 5 times, he's saying Pollock, and that's a shame, but the youngster's gone. I did say it'd be tough work up front. 1 for 1.
This man has certainly scored plenty of runs. It's over 2,000 runs in 35 test matches, averaging 42. Philo Wallace off the mark, down to third man. Is it going to be 4? It is. Donald won't be pleased with that. Pollock does some good work going to his right to stop it, and then in doing so flicks it back and it rolls along the ground, and almost the slope of the ground takes the ball down and onto the rope. As we watch that replay again, I can get out of the commentary seat. Oh, he didn't know. He missed it altogether. Hit him on the ankle.
So both openers gone, and a wicket apiece, and the West Indies in shambles. So Philo Wallace goes to follow Ganga back to the dressing room, and Brian Lara will find himself coming out to join Shivnarine Chandapal virtually as the two opening batsmen.
Fuller length delivery from Donald, beaten slightly for pace, trying to get forward but not quite there in time, and because of that, the bat away from the pad, and he gets the inside edge back into the stumps.
So the West Indies find themselves at 5 for 2 as Wallace goes for 4. So West Indies captain Brian Lara with a lot to do now. Wonderful piece of fielding. Herschel Gibbs, that lifts a team as well. And yesterday the contrast with the West Indies, especially towards the end when there were so many misfields, is stark. Lovely shot off the legs. Well timed, and Lara gets a boundary.
He played a few of these shots at Kingsmead in the test, and especially square of the wicket on the leg side. He seems to time it effortlessly through there.
Well, Lara looks at the bat as an indication that he got an edge onto it. Ball was certainly through him.
There's some movement back into the left-hander, probably sneaking down the leg side anyway.
Struck it well. Another boundary for Lara. Slightly over pitch and in position very quickly indeed.
Yes, and unlike the previous attempted drive, this time he doesn't try and hit it too hard, gets his feet into position.
Just over the head of the slip. So Lara's decided to fight fire with fire here. Lucky to escape with that. The edge was just thick enough to clear Boucher.
Well, it's so often happens if you do get a big score, you can look back on your innings and early on think back to moments where you were perhaps a little bit fortunate, and maybe that will be one of them.
Well, they do say that if you're going to go hard, cut hard, and he certainly did cut hard there. Full flourish of the bat, and the top edge just clearing the keeper.
Acrobatic effort from Mark Boucher.
Well, he's crunched that. Absolutely magnificent shot. Alan Donald has a few things to say. And I don't think it was in Afrikaans, and even if it was, it really was the universal language which everyone understands.
Including all the 5-year-olds watching around the country as well, unfortunately.
Well, if they are 5 years old and are watching, I can assure you that he said, "Good shot, skipper." Well, Lara's gone after him now. This is a tremendous confrontation here. This is what the crowd has come in to see, a great fast bowler against a great batsman. Lara has gone now with 3 boundaries, 1 off the edge, 2 off the middle in this over.
Yes, Alan Donald has had some great contests with the great batsmen over the years, Mark Waugh, Steve Waugh, Atherton in England in the previous series, and now Brian Lara. Interesting field placing. Jonty Rhodes has dropped back from his normal position at point to 3/4 of the way to the boundary.
End of as an exciting over as we have had for the entire series. 29 for 2. Well, it may be frenetic stuff, but it's absolutely enthralling and quite brilliant stroke play from Lara as the West Indies move on to 33 for 2. And to continue the commentary, Gerald de Kock will be with Geoffrey Boycott. Just have a look at this shot from Lara. Middle of the bat, flashed away in the offside.
And Lara's gone for that again, and it has gone for 4. Just exhilarating stuff, this contest.
Well, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to be going for a cool drink or a cup of tea. Lara's not going to back off. He's either going to get out or he's going to plunder runs.
He didn't really hit that in the middle either. It was just almost a top edge. Had he hit it in the middle, it probably would have carried the boundary quite easily. Slash, and away it goes. It'll go down to the deep backward point boundary for 4 more.
You see, you give him room. He's used to bowlers bowling over the wicket, across him, as all left-handers are. 90% of the time the right-armers bowl across them, and it's an angle they get used to. Yeah, he's going to whack those. Just back cut them.
Well, he's faced 25 balls. He's got 36 at the moment. Hansi Cronje's innings was here in the last test match played at this ground against Sri Lanka. Oh, that's beautifully bowled and very well played. What a contest this is.
Nice cricket. If you like your cricket, you understand it. See how it came out of his fingers. Slower, he sort of undercut the ball. Got it right up there. Lara was looking to hit it, that high backlift, but then slowed it down, stopped the ball.
That is so well played. Look at his bat go backwards here, there. Oh. Smash, 4 more. Well, this is astonishing stuff here at Centurion Park this morning. West Indies 46 for 2. This time it's well stopped. Now he's given that everything. Beautifully timed. It races away for 4. Overpitched by Klusner. And Chanderpaul makes it count. That brings up the 50.
Yeah, good shot. Just caressed it nicely. Big stride forward this time.
That's nicely timed. It'll go to the deep mid-wicket boundary. Oh, it was a good shot.
Yeah, he just dug it out. Tried for a Yorker probably, and it was an easy ball. When you know, souped up a bit like Lara is, he's looking for runs. Runs have come quite quickly. You don't miss out then too easily. It's when you're tense you miss out.
And that's going to go to the boundary as well. I tell you what, there's not much margin for error for the bowlers here.
I like that confrontation, really. Just a silent one. When Galley's finished, he stopped in his follow-through. He's a bit miffed there. That was pretty good length ball, actually. It's pitching off stump, but it's just going away. It's that angle I talk about. I really do think somebody's got a ball around the wicket.
And put down, I think, by Cullinan.
Just Klusner bowling from wide of the crease, or fairly wide of the crease, angling it across Chanderpaul. Got the edge, and Cullinan, well, he would have had to make a repeat of his catch in Cape Town to effect the catch, low to his left, and probably just carried.
See, that's full leg stump and dealt with perfectly by Lara. And his 50.
Well, he's more than likely taken a little bit of a chance in his approach to the batting, but it's been a privilege to watch.
Swinging into the leg stump and nicely balanced, head still. Real entertainment for this wonderful crowd here. Now that's anguish from Jacques Cullis, because he knows that swung too much and too full and onto the pads. And for batsmen of quality, that's bread and butter. 70 for 2. Chanderpaul's a big LBW candidate if he should miss the delivery, because his footwork is very limited in as much as he doesn't move too much other than just across the crease. Like that. Well, thanks Jacques for that anyway.
There might have been a bit of bat involved as well here. But what Jacques Kallis has done, I think, particularly well to the left hand is, as you see it, how it angles back at him, as Robin was saying. Bat and pad very close together.
That's 4 more. This time to Chanderpaul. And the end of the over, 76 for 2. Big appeal, but no reaction from Venkat. I must say, as I saw that live, I've had a funny feeling that the bat hit the pad more than anything else, but the camera will tell us.
Very good appeal. Yeah, and I think maybe a good shot for LBW as well.
Yeah, I agree. It was the ball that hit the pad, not the bat. It's a question of, from that angle, has it straightened enough to hit the stumps as well? Excellent decision. It's well bowled. It's 4 runs, which is a little irritating than a moral victory.
The game's certainly moving forward at quite a rate. 300 runs yesterday, and now the West Indies scoring close to 4 runs per over. That's probably the major difference in Test cricket these days compared to 10 years back, where it's just things seem to happen so much more quickly.
That's sweetly timed. Rhodes in pursuit, but even he can't get there.
Beautiful Centurion Park outfield. That same shot played at Newlands wouldn't have got there with the much slower Kukui grass. But really, this is a great field for batting. Once the ball gets a little bit older, not as much bounce, it really can be good. And once you're in, nice to bat on.
Very fine. Got the angle right. Got the middle of the bat onto it and turned it very fine indeed for 4. That's his 14th 4.
Yes, bowling around the wicket, see how wide he is of the crease. The tendency is to try and bowl at the stumps, but if you pitch it on the stumps, it'll go down leg side. You've really got to aim outside off stump, maybe even a foot outside.
Lara's taken the blow. Tucked it away. Time for 2.
Not out, not out. And it's over. 102 for 2.
In the air, he's got him. Donald has got him. Donald eventually is the victor. He worked for that wicket. Great bowling by a great fast bowler. And South Africa have made the breakthrough with the West Indies 102 for 3 and Brian Lara gone for 68.
Well, it's been one hell of a contest while it's lasted. It's taken him till after lunch to go around the wicket, you see, and he gets in a tangle because of the different angle of the ball. And that's beautifully bowled, well thought out. It took till lunch. Somebody's done some talking at lunch, but it's worked. Just ask yourself tonight when you go to bed, Alan Donald, why you didn't do it before lunch. You might have saved yourself a few runs. A very good entertaining innings. 102 for 3.
Carl Hooper, the vice-captain, comes in to replace the captain, Brian Lara. Just out to a magnificent spell of bowling from Alan Donald. Not just the ball, but also the tactics.
Oh, what a beautiful delivery.
Too good. Pitching roundabout off stump and then straightening quite considerably. And too much. The best thing about that shot from Carl Hooper's point of view is that he plays the line and then doesn't try and follow it as it moves away from him. That's sometimes difficult to do when you're faced with the pace of Alan Donald.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. It was an overpitched ball, but Carl Hooper's a class player and ends a terrific over with the disappointing delivery. But he won't be too unhappy because it was a key wicket he got in that over. 106 for 3. So this is going to be a tough period for Chanderpaul to retain the concentration. He's gone for that. It was in the air and in a gap. And they'll come back for 3.
Yes, he gets this quite high up on the bat, not in control really of the pull shot. And on another day, almost played too soon maybe, on another day that might have spooned up to either mid-on or to the squarer mid-wicket, squarer man at square leg.
Combination of Klusner and Adams doing the fielding. So Carl Hooper takes guard to face the next over. It's Sean Pollock's 5th of a spell. Oh, he edges it wide of slip. He'll get 4 runs as well. It won't delight Sean Pollock much.
There's more of an edge than he intended, but certainly he opened the face and guided it down. Played it with soft hands. He does that very well, Carl Hooper. See how the face is open. And that guides it into that gap. No third man there. If you can play that shot, it's so valuable to have.
Oh, he's gone for the pull as well. Klusner's lost it, 4 runs. And that's probably where he wanted the man. He wanted the square leg behind the umpire there.
Yes, Chanderpaul guessing correctly here that Donald was more than likely going to bowl the short ball, and he was in position very quickly.
And he bowls outside off stump and gets cut away for 4 runs.
Yesterday we saw how the short wide delivery could be punished. Very true wicket, pretty certainly as far as most wickets are concerned. And Paul, well, he's played some magnificent square cuts today.
Oh, he's got him! Little inside edge, and Klusner gets Hooper. Delight, his first test wicket for a while. And the West Indies suffer a big blow with Hooper gone for 8, bowled by Klusner. And it's 122 for 4.
Well, Zulu must be delighted. Carl Hooper looks very, very disappointed. Ball coming back at him off the seam. Enough bounce to beat the top of the flap of the pad after it's hit the inside edge.
So Hooper goes for 8 and the West Indies 122 for 4. The new batsman is Floyd Reefer. He played in the Port Elizabeth Test match, didn't feature too prominently there. 29, his highest score against Sri Lanka.
Again, good timing from him. Half a stop from Herschel Gibbs, so just the 2 runs. Also played very late again. 125 for 4. That's good bowling. In the air and out! Steep bounce from Pollock. Shoulder of the bat from Floyd Reefer. And a good catch.
Well, that's very good bowling. Going forward, then just knocked it in short of a length. But watch the footwork. He's picked the wrong length, hasn't he? He's going forward here. Look at the front foot. It's gone forward. And then he's too late coming back. It's hit him and it's away. Very nice catch. Who caught that?
I wonder. Not in his familiar position at backward point. Jonty Rhodes, the catcher in the gully.
Well, I never. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. They got a wicket or two that could bowl West Indies out. 125 for 5.
Match made his debut at the Wanderers in the first match of this series. He's averaging just under 40 with the bat. He's the one of the West Indian batsmen that's really gutsed it out and got in there. 69 not out his best. And he'll need all his resources right now. Going down, not too much.
No, he can't give them out. Keeps appealing for him, doesn't he? Suppose if you don't appeal, you don't get him.
Pulled away in the air. Donald under it. And out. So Klusener strikes again. Almost the last resistance is out in Shivnarine Chanderpaul, and the West Indies reeling now at 126 for 6.
Well, I think that was a very good catch, actually. Might not have been a well-executed shot. Klusener tested him with a short of a length. He went for the pull, got under it, but I thought Alan Donald did very well here. He had to come in, judge it carefully. Adams stopped, he was fancying it, and caught it in the end as he was going down and held on to it. That's very nice catching. Especially if he's got a little bit of a niggle in his leg as well. A nice innings, workmanlike innings. Played his part, but be disappointed to have felt that, well, maybe he contributed to his own downfall there. 126 for 6.
Nixon McLean. Now, we've seen him hit the ball a long way in this series already. An explosive type of batsman, prepared to have a hook. But he's only averaging 16, so I don't think South Africa are going to be all that concerned at the moment. Cut away, that'll be 4. No third man with that array of slips.
Well, it was a good shot, that. Tried to bang it in, did Klusener. It sat up a little bit. And he hit it very well.
2 for Donald, 2 for Pollock, 2 for Klusener. Well, a bit of a Caribbean heave-ho off the back foot. Inside edge, brings him 4 fortunate runs.
Well, this is nicely bowled. He deliberately bowled it really wide and up there for him to have a dart. You see, it was a real slashy sort of shot. Lucky edge. I thought it was well thought out. Throw it up there, let him have a dart at it. He did, he got the edge. It was an inside one that went luckily for 4.
In the air, but straight past second slip, where third slip might have been, for 4. And the end of the over, 138 for 6. Slower ball, Klusener. Couldn't quite get far enough to his left to take the return catch.
Yes, this ball never quite got to him. There was always a chance, little slowish off spinner. Deceived Jacobs, but he never really quite got there.
That'll be a couple. Eventually, another slip there from McLean this time. And the end of the over, 140 for 6.
Beautifully taken. McLean struck it pretty well, and Cronje pulled it in as if it was the easiest thing in the world, which it was not.
Any catch above your head is more difficult because you haven't got the palm of the hands behind the ball, only the fingers. And really, he hit that like a bullet, and the West Indies must be feeling a little bit desperate, not only through the situation, but the fact is whenever they hit it in the air, there seems to be a South African in the way.
Donald strikes once more. The West Indies 140 for 7. They're falling to pieces, with McLean going for 8. Another wicket for Donald, 140 for 7. So Merv Dillon now to join Ridley Jacobs. That highest score was in his previous test innings. That's another wicket. Donald picks it up. Paul Adams at short leg. Straightforward catch, but still well taken. He's right under the bat. 140 for 8. Dillon goes without scoring.
Well, this is not a batsman's paradise by any means. There's still something in it for the bowlers. Donald gets lift, movement back at the right-hander, and good enough. Dillon only just playing a reflex shot, pushing it towards Paul Adams at short leg.
So yet another duck for the West Indies, and Merv Dillon goes back with the West Indies at 140 for 8, and another wicket for Donald and the duck. On his debut, Rion King is coming in the middle of a cauldron here at Centurion Park. The West Indies have now lost 6 wickets for 38 runs. Anil Donald is the one who is at him, looking for his 5th wicket. He's got 4 already. For Donald. King has lost to just 2 deliveries, and the West Indian slide continues. Yet another wicket for this great fast bowler. King had absolutely no answer to it. 140 for 9.
I suspect it does keep a little bit low, but it's certainly of a fuller length. And on the back foot, Rion King beats the outside edge, playing down the wrong line. And that's going to clip the off stump.
So yet another duck and another wicket for Donald. West Indies 140 for 9. Courtney Walsh comes in. The West Indies were 102 for 2 with Lara 68, Chandapol 24, and really going well after lunch. They're now 140 for 9. Over the top. Went a long way over the top, but carries. Good golf shot there. Not too far away from here. Ernie Els might have been pleased with that to land it on the tee.
So we're preempting, looking at whitewashes. This test match still a long way to go. But at this stage, certainly West Indies again with their backs to the wall.
He's wrapped in the pad, he's out. That's the end of the innings. So all wrapped up with the wicket going to Jack Hollis, and the West Indies are all out for 144. So big lead for South Africa on first innings. And no doubt about this. So right in front of middle and off stumps, and Walsh leg before wicket for 2, and a lead for South Africa as umpire Venkatragavan raises his finger of such substance as you really feel the West Indies can't wriggle out of this one.
Yes, that one keeping a bit low, no doubt. about that one. Courtney Walsh jumping around the crease a little bit too much and not being able to get that on ball.
Well, it's quite a remarkable looking scorecard. Take Chanderpaul and Lara away, and it's pretty pathetic. Lara's 68 in just over 2 hours, and really was quite an astonishing assault at times on Alan Donald. Support from Chanderpaul, nothing from anywhere else. The partnerships, well, only the one between Lara and Chanderpaul of 97, and then they lost their last 8 wickets for just 42 runs as Donald and Pollock and Klusener got in amongst them. Fantastic stuff by the South Africans. There's Donald once again supreme. Remember his start of him playing in this test match, 5 for 49 in 13. And the difference between these two sides reflected in those other bowling figures. The support from Pollock and Klusener, as well as Cullis, was brilliant. So that's the match situation. The South Africans have a very, very healthy lead going into their second innings. Hit beautifully through extra cover, takes a step into line and going across the left-hander. It's Chanderpaul, 4 runs, good shot. Helped away. One to Cullis, 99 for 1. Oopsie, oopsie. Now that's not a good sign. Courtney Walsh in mid-stride. And that is very dangerous. I had a problem coming into the... Well, he missed the Newlands test, but whether this was in the delivery here and landing... No, he's pulled out of it just before he landed.
Just how much longer can he continue? He is a most courageous character, Courtney Walsh.
Take a look at it again. He's getting to the top of his run here, really. Up he goes there and pulls out. The moment he took off, that looks to be the left leg.
Which it was in Durban. And some very understanding and sympathetic applause from the crowd as this great fast bowler goes off the field, injured yet again. He's age 36 now, and the muscles, of course, are not as strong as they were, say, 10 years ago.
In the middle of his 8th over, an opportunity perhaps to go to 400 test wickets in this series seems perhaps gone now. Well, they went through to the close, and the real problem for the West Indies was the injury to Courtney Walsh. He suffered this in the last over of the day, his 8th, and he came down on his left knee just before delivery, and that of a real concern to the West Indies because he really has been the only true threat to the South African batting. Talking of which, Gary Kirsten was joined by Jacques Cullis. They added 18 more runs to take it through to the close. Herschel Gibbs played beautifully for his second test half-century and made that in just over 2 hours, but got out caught a short leg by fellow Wallace off Carl Hooper. And there an illustration of Courtney Walsh, his importance to this attack. Although he didn't get a wicket, he was frugal in the extreme. McLean, King and Dillon not quite as tidy. Hooper the wicket taker. Wickets hard to come by. That's the match situation. 269 ahead. What a position for the opening stand. 82 between Gibbs and Kirsten. Always a solid platform. Now the real worry for the West Indies is the injury to Courtney Walsh. In the last over of the day, he pulled up with a knee injury, and a lot of work on the other bowlers, McLean, King, Dillon and Hooper on this 3rd day for them. Well, that's the match situation. 269 runs ahead, and they've got 9 second innings wickets in hand. So that is a really perfect platform for South Africa's second innings. This test match, as the last couple of test matches, have been very well supported by big crowds throughout, and today at the 3rd day, no exception.
It certainly is a depressing time for West Indies cricket, and not only here, but it's been developing for some time. Now a big test for them today, a big challenge especially for the younger bowlers, in that Courtney Walsh is injured and will not bowl today, so that it's a big challenge for Nixon McLean and Merv Dillon, Rion King in his debut test match, in a virtually hopeless position, but one in which they've got to keep their concentration. They can't give up. They've got to still be out there and perform. It's easier said than done, especially when you're this far behind without your leading bowler.
Kirsten's looking for 2 here, and he'll get it. It's good running. Now the West Indies in South Africa's innings bowled around the wicket quite a lot yesterday, and has created some rough outside the off stump of the right-hander. Hence the fact that Hooper's bowling over the wicket. We recall in Cape Town when he tied Jacques Kallis down, he bowled around the wicket. That he's now got some purchase out there. That's good bowling. Saw him coming and a little bit of loop and drifted it into him.
Supposed to be better than that, says Hooper. Roy Lewis coming in from extra cover, and certainly looked to have been close. Underarm flick, hit the stumps, would have been out. Should have been better than that, says Hooper. Would have been out by a long way. And even if Wallace had taken it, he would have been in trouble.
It's a good shot. Just a little wide of off stump, and very unforgiving from a length point of view, and Kirsten able to adjust and put that away for 4.
Got the width, and the left-handers are very strong there with full flow of the bat and freeing the arms. Of course, with McLean starting this well, the other 2 fast bowlers watching on from the outfield. Say, well, he set the standards, we've got to match them.
Got that fine. It was a similar delivery to the one that actually dismissed Kallis in the first innings. So this time he's got it down and fine for 4. 116 for 1.
This is firmly played away through mid-on, beautifully timed, and the fielder was in close proximity to it, yet it went quickly past him, so he couldn't close it down completely, but he had a pretty good start to be able to haul it in, but it was really a lovely shot.
Yeah, nice fullish delivery, tucked away off the pads. Nice crisp shot. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Hello?
Nice bit of fielding for a change here. Nice pickup, shall we say, but the throw not so good. Single to Gary Kirsten. Needs just 1 more for another Test 50. That's his 50.
Well, I think there'll be a little bit of relief there as well as pleasure. He's played quite nicely, but he has had 3 failures just before that, and plays on your mind a bit. See, that's a bit too wide, isn't it? It's wider than any of the other deliveries. You know, we can say it's a good shot, which it is, but at this level, you can't give batsmen anything. You've got to be so tight and mean with your line and your length. And that's what he just has to learn to do. He bowls enough good balls. He just bowls too many easy comfort balls. Look at this.
Come on, Nico! On Nico!
And there you see he came down the wicket, and Hooper is not happy with his fielder down at long on that he allowed them to get 2. I think he expressed himself quite vividly.
He did right and all. It was real sloppy. He got to the ball slowly. Hooper's trying to tie Kallis down. He's trying to frustrate him. And he's just sauntering.
Just 1. Yes, that's the mark of a really high-class player against spin, when you can get down the wicket without the bowler being able to adjust his length. And it takes incredible eyes and feet.
The trick to playing spin well, I think, is being able to read the length as quickly as possible. But unless the spinner is giving it a lot of air, it's not that easy to come down the wicket once he's let the ball go. You almost have to premeditate to a certain extent.
There's an appeal for a catch. He's out. Well, umpire Coates had waited and waited, and perhaps for Kallis to go, but Kallis has gone in a fairly similar fashion to the first innings, leg side, and he's not happy at all. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it might have gone just above the hands. Now, Rudy Crimson delayed his decision for a little while. Obviously not 100% sure, but then he's got to give as he saw it. And he saw it, that came off the gloves. Jacques Kallis out for 27, 140 for 2.
And South Africa's number 4. And he comes in at the fall of the second wicket. South Africa 140 for 2.
Nice shot, good calling from Kirsten. You heard quite clearly, waiting. And this is the wicket. Jacques Kallis going on the sweep. A little bit of turn, pitching in the rough. Played too soon, held up in the rough. And, well, in the end, quite an easy catch as far as leg side catches go for keepers. Just popping up there. But important to keep your eye on the ball.
That's well hit by Gary Kirsten, just behind square, and there's not a big gap, but he's found it with some fine timing.
Yes, it bounced a little bit, so it was a good shot. He placed it very well, and it just gathered in speed as it beat the infield.
Yes, that's a mark, isn't it, of being able to impart pace onto the ball as you make the shot. And it's beautifully timed by Jacques Kallis. And full value on this beautiful outfield. Beg your pardon, Daryl Cullinan.
Yes, and he gets off the mark with a leg stump half volley, really. It's naughty from the bowler.
Oh, he's going to get himself in trouble here. Ganga takes the catch. Cullinan is out. Not the best shot in the world, that, from Daryl Cullinan. And Mervyn Dillon gets some reward for a good spell. Darren Ganga takes the catch, but a very strange looking shot here from Daryl Cullinan.
Yes, I'm sure initially trying to go on the pull shot, and really Dillon a little bit too quick for him on this occasion. He tried to adjust and try to hit it straighter, but he just gets the outside half of the bat and it just spoons up, and Ganga takes a good catch running back to his left.
Well, he had his day at Newlands, Daryl Cullinan, but he'll be very angry at getting out, having just scored 4. And South Africa 149 for 3. Hansi Cronje comes out at number 5 for South Africa.
Yes, and Daryl Cullinan is an intelligent man, and so we said yesterday that sometimes it pays almost to not to think too much about your game, and I just get the feeling with Daryl that on occasions he thinks a little bit too much about what he has to do out there, how to approach his innings, and complicates it in his own mind, and makes it more complicated for himself.
That's the danger bowling around the wicket. You can stray and then concede runs down the leg side, and Kirsten picks up 2.
It's a small thing, but in a way he shouldn't really have got 2 there. It was to the left of the fine leg, but he was a little bit slow in coming off the boundary, and then obviously he has the shoulder problem and he has to give the underarm throw as well. But those kind of things and those differences add up between the teams.
Pulled away, it's in the air, but over square leg quite comfortably, and he won't get 4. Ganga's chased well. He might well get 4 now, I think. I think he stepped over the rope with the ball in his hand there.
Yes, and umpire Venkat immediately calling to the third umpire, Dave Orchard. Gary Kirsten not getting 100% bat on this one. Again, it looked like it was high up on the bat, but sufficiently inside it to get it over the head of the square leg. That's okay, but then he picks it up and steps over.
Now it's 4 runs. Inadvertently, I mean, he had to put his foot somewhere and it went over the rope. 4 runs to Gary Kirsten. See it from another angle. Stops it. Tries to keep his footing. Picks it up, and that's as clear as you like.
Well, that was inevitable. It was a very good shot. More about it in a moment. 168 for 3. I say it was inevitable purely because there's such a huge gap on the onside that Kirsten had to be looking for the right length delivery, never mind about the line, in order to capitalise and sweep it away. He only had to make any form of contact, really.
This could be fun. One wonders just how long Hansi Cronje's patience will hold, particularly with him going round the wicket. He loves to play the slog sweep. That's a more conventional sweep shot, and it goes for 4. Got it fine enough. The man on the boundary is too square.
Well, it was nice and clever. He didn't try to hit it in the orthodox way behind square. He sort of paddle swept it, just tucked it behind. That's the man who is experienced at sweeping, knows he's good at it, and he's quite aware of where the fielder is.
1 run to reach 11,000 first-class runs. There he goes, and it's a mighty hit. And the crowd love it. I thought it was just a matter of time before he brought it off, and he's done it in style.
Well, you've got to be pretty confident about your ability when you've got 3 men on the boundary waiting for a slight miss-hit. Well, he's hit it miles back, hasn't he? There's no doubt at all, if he times it well, he's going to clear it. Not the biggest boundaries I've ever seen, a very pretty ground here. And he's a good player of spinners, as I said. He goes over the top naturally.
This is a nice looking on drive down the ground. And the fielder just not quick enough to gather it in, and then collides with the advertising board. Big Merv.
That's it, make it count, and he is done. Cracking shot on drive, now a straightish mid-off drive. He didn't half club it with that bottom hand well. 196 for 3.
Very well fielded that slip. Chanderpaul doesn't often find himself there, especially to Hooper. Very agile. Tested again. Anticipated it nicely this time.
There's the effort, but good bit of bowling. Cramped Cronje up, and he couldn't do just exactly what David Richardson was saying, swing the arm. So he's got a bit of bat on it somewhere, and it's gone through slip.
He's very lucky there. Could have gone anywhere. In fact, and people must be a little bit upset with that.
Another way for 2. Cronje again running hard for him to try to make it into 3. Kirsten himself sending him back, and the end of the over. 220 for 3. That's a good shot.
This is a very good shot because it's not that short and it actually swings in on Hansie Cronje. And that takes a good eye still to get full bat on it. Watch it come back at him almost off the seam.
Yeah, appreciation from the bowler there. He knows that was a good shot. Reasonably cramped at the end. It rushed off to him a little bit. The arms weren't fully extended because he didn't have time, but he still managed to improvise and get it away for 4. One. Chanderpaul. Cronje had a hurry, but I think he got home really comfortably in the end.
Yes, Cronje does well here. He's backing up a couple of meters, and normally it would have been pretty tight. But that's good calling and good backing up.
It's good partnership, isn't it? It's towards the end of the over now. He knows that Kirsten would like the strike if he can get it, and Cronje is aware and helping him towards that 3-figure mark. And helps himself to 4 in doing it. What a beautiful stroke that was. Square of the wicket. Superb.
Yes, you don't get a ball hit more crisply than this. Over pitch, sure, and wide, but his timing was perfect.
It's the lateness of the stroke. He let the ball get past the front leg there. Watch this, way past the front leg before he makes contact. It's wide. He lets it get to him under his eyes. Superb stroke. Oopsie, and the misfield will lose Gary Kirsten the strike, as it turns out. At the end of the over, 231 for 3. Lead of 400 now, South Africa. No, he's done well to get a bat on that. That's kept very low. We'll see if there was a change of pace as well. It might have been more to the bowler's credit than the pitch wear. Played.
Certainly kept low, but it was not as short perhaps as Cronje was expecting. Got the length slightly wrong.
That's a beautiful stroke. 4 from the moment that it left his bat.
Not much of a gap between the mid-off and the extra cover. But that was a beautiful shot. He didn't try and hit it too hard. Just timing, kept his shape all the way through the shot. On the up.
Exquisite.
He's played really well in the last half hour, Cronje. One to him. .237 for 3. Now Gary Kirsten on 98. Turns it away. That'll be 100 for Gary Kirsten. 4 runs. He raises his bat to the dressing room. A broad grin on his face. And delight for his teammates as well as they share in a vintage moment for Gary Kirsten. In front of a capacity crowd here at Centurion Park. His 8th Test 100.
And bringing it up with this fine stroke off the legs. Not a very good ball from McLean, but put away expertly. A very solid innings, typical opening batsman's innings from Kirsten. There's the reaction of the crowd and the South African dressing room. Great respect here in South Africa for Malcolm Marshall, for his knowledge of the game and his ability as a coach.
Well, he's hit that in the air, and it's gone just over Darren Ganga's head and down to the boundary for 4. And that brings a 50 up for Hansi Cronje. Nice to see raising his bat and taking his helmet off. This is how he got there. Short ball outside off stump and intentionally lifting it over the inner ring of fielders and down to the boundary for 4. That's a very intelligent play.
He's batted superbly in this innings. Played some wonderful strokes.
Oh, another one. And it just runs away to the boundary. Gathers pace as it runs over this lush and beautifully manicured outfield. Well, the landmarks are coming thick and fast. That on the up was quite beautifully hit.
Just look how straight the bat is. And that is a very, very difficult stroke to play. That's the one before. That's the horizontal bat shot with the cut.
Oh, he's hit that very fine with the toe of the bat.
Just a gradual build-up before lunch. Now the acceleration is on. The foot is down on the accelerator, and batsmen are already going after it. No pressure here. And just enjoying themselves now.
Oh, that is glorious from Hansi Cronje once again.
Absolutely no effort in the shot at all. This is Lawrence Rowe stuff. David Gower, just beautifully timed, no effort whatever. Half volley and just hitting clean through the ball. Lovely follow through. Perfection for 4.
That got close, and he's done it away for a couple of runs as well. Good bounce, but well controlled. Gone for the pull, it's in the air and out. Caught a deep square leg by Darren Ganga. And McLean gets him at last with that pull shot and the short ball. He couldn't resist it eventually, and Cronje goes.
Yeah, so McLean was working on that, either trying to get him tucking off the hip, that short leg fielder, and a good catch again by Ganga, who looks so efficient in almost everything he does on the test field. But a really good innings by Cronje, just giving the momentum for South Africa when they wanted it. 58 from 105 balls. There he goes, 256 for 4.
Jonty Rhodes marches in. This is a long way to walk from the dressing room here at Centurion. Most batsmen will cross in the stairs going up, but Rhodes, the moment the wicket falls, I think he's running down those steps immediately. This is his 47th. Getting under at Cronje. Not quite the middle of the bat, as Tony Cozier said. And that is 4 runs to Gary Kirsten. Needn't bother running. Look how briskly he hit that, because it bounced well over the rope.
Dillon just guilty in this spell with the new ball of over pitching. Perhaps better than under pitching, as we saw in the first innings, but it was the width on that allowed the left-hander to open out and strike it beautifully through extra cover.
In the air. At 4 runs, hit it hard, and the man down at third man couldn't get round to cut it off.
Well, young Dillon bowling a really loose, long hop outside off stump. He had a good spell with the old ball earlier. But here it's just too wide and short. Oh, he's hit that. He's walloped that. He's got an early call and he's got right into the shot. Very quick.
Well, that's 7. And it's not often you get 7 runs off one delivery, but with the new rules, new laws, that a no ball counts for the 1 and then whatever is hit off it. And this is a very marginal call, I might tell you. Magnificently picked up by Jonty Rhodes and hit over the square leg boundary. That's well played. He got over that so nicely. That's bad bowling. 4 more, 282 for 4. Gets him away from Nelson. Gary Kirsten in fine style.
Yep, he's going to go for it again.
Jonty Rhodes is back in a flash for the second. Unbelievable running by him. From the moment he hit it, he knew he wanted to, and he really never even looked. He just touched base at the other end and was charging back. So much urgency about his play. Doesn't matter whether South Africa's in a commanding position. Oh, this is 4 more. Huge gap there, because again he's bowling to only 3 men on the onside, and Lara is fairly wide at mid-on, and there's a huge gap back past the bowler.
Well, this is disappointing. Trying to bowl a Yorker. If it wasn't a Yorker, then it was an awful delivery at medium fast. I just think there's a lack of discipline. When you're that sort of medium fast bowler, you have to hit the deck on a very good length and line, and you have to try and frustrate the batsman.
Oh, another cracking shot by Jonty Rhodes. On bounce 4 to mid-wicket.
Just short of a length, doesn't need a lot, and he's onto it. Most small men are good pullers of the ball.
It's a brilliant shot from Rhodes. Superb. Everything right about it.
Yes, his cover driving really has come on. I think the most of all his shots over the last year or so. Always very good on the short ball and the pull in particular, but his driving has just been excellent.
Saw him say to Gary Kirsten, then, did that sound all right? As if he's got to worry about his bat. Yeah, that's terrific cricket. The power of the cover drive made the mid-off hold back just a little bit. Pinched a single. 306 for 4. Ask him to listen very carefully after the final ball is bowled of each over. Again, superb, absolutely superb.
Whether it was quite intentional or not, I'm not sure, but it looked as if it was slightly slower. And Jonty Rhodes just delayed his shot a fraction. So in the air for a little bit, but very well placed.
Big appeal and some thought from umpire Goodson.
That's a very full delivery and probably a good shout, because the difficulty the umpire has, though, is there's not much time to tell whether the ball is straightening enough to be able to come back and hit the off stump.
Yeah, they go by the adage, they've got to see it pitch and travel prior to contact with the pad. Missed it, there'll be 2 here. That's beautifully played, that's 4. And over. 326 for 4. Another superb shot for Rhodes. Oh, his cover driving since tee, well, in fact, since the Tour of England, really, it's just come on in leaps and bounds, and you don't see better shots than this.
He gets such power because his weight distribution is so good. He's going forward into the shot as opposed to trying to lean back on the cover drive.
That's his 50. And electrifying 50 it's been. Tremendous entertainment for this capacity crowd. His 12th half-century in Test cricket to go with 2 centuries. Well played, Jonty Rhodes. Pulled away by Rhodes, man under it, and over the rope. I think that was 6. I see umpire Rudy Kutsin signalling to Venkat that it was 6, and Venkat now confirms. So 6 more to Rhodes, 344 for 4. Just have a look at that last ball again. Rhodes onto it very quickly. I don't know whether he hit it absolutely cleanly. Figure not. A good effort from the man down at backward square leg there. Oh, wonderful cricket. Brilliant cricket all round. Goodest stroke. Fantastic running, but what a wonderful bit of fielding by the West Indian captain, Brian Lara. Lara going to his left, one-handed pickup, and a perfect throw.
Well, this is sailing, and up into the crowd.
I know the situation of the game, there's no pressure on him, but this has been a fantastic innings from Jonty Rhodes. He's played some wonderful shots, but that's really asking for it. That's a long hop, and he had a an hour to wait for it to knock it away.
This is 4 more to Jonty Rhodes. There are 2 men out there, one at backward square, one at fine leg, but he hits it fine enough and hard enough to beat the man at fine leg.
He's got 3 men out there, in fact. Now he's put in an extra man. There's a fine leg. There's a man between fine leg and backward square in the boundary. They're inviting Rhodes to go for the shot. He's going to go for it, doesn't matter. And he's winning the battle.
Well, this is phenomenal shot. And it's 6 more.
I think you can safely say that the ploy has failed. Tremendous blow, 371 for 4.
7 4s, 4 6s. That was not that short, but my goodness, how hard he struck it. Caught. Gary Kirsten is caught at slip. Hooper gets one just to bounce a little bit, and Gary Kirsten tried to chop it away on the offside and has been well held at slip.
Fine innings ended for the left-handed opener. Going for the cut. And a good sharp catch at slip, Darren Ganga. 3rd catch for him of the innings, and a good sharp one. Finding himself in the deep previously, now at slip. But a superb innings by Gary Kirsten ends with South Africa 371 for 5.
Sean Pollock immediately off the mark, just pushing Hooper out into the covers. Jonty Rhodes goes on the reverse sweep and has picked it up magnificently. 4 runs. Saw Hansi Cronje try and play one earlier that he made a hash of, but he was in position so early for this.
Another remarkable shot by the remarkable Rhodes. We saw a quite special innings yesterday from Brian Lara, and in its own way, this is just as special.
Yeah, he's gone for another one, and it's sailing again. 2 men there. All they could do was look up into the skies and watch it go over the boundary. 6 more to Jonty Rhodes. Unbelievable stuff, this. 387 for 5. Another mighty blow. You see those 2 men out there, they could do no more than watch. Oh, he dropped it. Dropped it. Hooper has toiled long and hard today, and he might well have deserved that wicket.
Difficult catch, but he got enough right hand on it, and he's a very good catcher. But as he hit the ground, it just popped out.
Now, we've had the whole business of whether Jonty Rhodes is on 95 or 97 cleared up. Robin Jackman has been ferreting around, and he went and spoke, first of all, to Hansi Cronje to say to him, you know, this might be the case, and he might be docked 2 runs because it was quite clear that that 6 did not carry the boundary. And here we watch play continue, and Jonty Rhodes gets a single. Robin Jackman then went to the 3rd umpire and said, what's going to happen? The match referee, Rajan Madugala, was there, and they all said that because it was not changed before the next ball was bowled, he will be credited with a 6, and he is in fact on 97 as he is now. And Hansi Cronje, I think, is going to, just to play it safe and prevent any sort of controversy, has indicated that he might wait until he gets 102. And what's he got now? He has got 6. Jonty Rhodes does it in the most magnificent way you could ever imagine. He leaves nobody in doubt whatsoever by hoisting it over the boundary again. Up goes the bat. They walk from the field immediately. They don't even wait for the skipper's signal. An absolutely exhilarating century from Jonty Rhodes, and his 6th 6. The fastest ever scored by a South African. 102 in 100 balls by Klusener, Lance Klusener, who's playing this test with him against India. Newlands was the fastest ever, and now Jonty Rhodes has beaten that. What an innings. So this huge crowd, well, they couldn't have chosen a better day to come down to Centurion. Glorious sunny day, and my goodness, have they had value for money. One of the best test crowds we've had for a long time. It's been a glorious scene, a lovely day, and South Africa piled on the agony for the West Indies. 399 for 5. And the partnership, well, 115 and just over 121, well, 121 balls, and under an hour and a half between Kirsten Rhodes was unbelievable. And then Pollock just stayed there while he smashed his way to his century. Naturally, the bowling doesn't make very happy reading, but one has to take one's hat off to Carl Hooper, the off-spinner. He started the bowling today. It's been very hot. He's toiled manfully, 36 overs and 2 balls, and he's got some reward, 3 for 117. He might have caught and bowled Pollock. It would have been a brilliant effort to give him a deserved 4th wicket. But it's been a very tough day for the West Indies yet again out there. So the match situation. South Africa, a mammoth, 568 runs ahead. They had 5 wickets still in hand. It presents an almost impossible target. Well, Donald will be nice and fired up. The South Africans will want to make inroads before the end of today so that they are in a position to wrap it up tomorrow. Donald starts with a wayward one down the leg side. Of course, South Africa can afford to have a very attacking field. It surprises me in a way that they haven't got a gully. They've got 3 slips and they've got a 3rd man. Wow.
I think 3rd man's not such a bad position, because Philo Wallace, get the guy down here, he's just as likely to hit it over the top of slip and get caught out down there.
Wallace is, despite the situation, he's quickly onto that one, and he whacks it away backward a square for 4.
Well, I did say that he's an explosive type of player. He just plays his shots. He's a striker of the ball, got a good keen eye. Not much footwork. This one's short of a length, so he can pull it. But his biggest problem comes when he has to get forward. He plays with an almost non-existent step forward, stiff left leg.
And a poor series, top score of 21. Is he caught? Yes! On 5 Venkat. And Alan Donald started with 2 loose ones down the leg side. Then he was whacked for 4. Another one down the leg side. This time, Philo Wallace gets something on it. And a nice low diving catch by Boucher. And South Africa have struck in the very first over.
Well, this is a good example of when things are going badly for you. This is strangled down the leg side. Really not a great ball, but I suppose you could say it's a good ball because it got a wicket. Almost a leg glance, wasn't it? And that's what happens when things are going badly. You get out in all kinds of ways. 4 for 1 West Indies.
So Chanderpaul comes to the wicket. An awful time to have to come to the wicket. Wallace out in the first over. 560 something runs required for victory.
Well, he's hit that beautifully in his area, and the first boundary to Chanderpaul.
Yeah, that was a short ball, not very quick. I do think Donald is struggling. So he's short and wide and didn't have that much pace. I'm watching Alan Donald very carefully. He's got a problem.
And now he's got a field. Beautiful arm.
That's nice timing. Gibbs in pursuit, and only 2. And away he goes. Darren Ganga with a 4. So off his pair.
It's too short. Paul Adams has got to say to himself that I'm the best spinner in the world. If you don't think like that when you're playing at this level, you're going to be in trouble.
Belated appeal. So 1 ball to go now of the 3rd day. Paul Adams is 22 years old on Wednesday. It's also a good appeal. Not out, says by Rudy Kutsen. Not out, and time, gentlemen, please.
Yes, well bowled Paul Adams, and well played Darren Ganga and Chandrapal. Great effort, not easy time to bat, and Brian Lara and the rest of the West Indies team will be very grateful for their efforts. Look at that, 2-finger grip, thumb and index finger. Well, I suppose it was easy for Hansi Cronje to be positive in this situation, 4-0 up, but declaring tonight showed his positivity. And as we said, Ganga and Chandrapal, 32 balls for that 4, but job well done. Wallace, disappointed, almost very unlucky when you caught down the leg side. And, well, he must be feeling pretty down at this point in time.
By 4 matches to 0, and they're in a very good shape to make it 5-0, perhaps even by the end of today, because the West Indies needing to score 568, that will never happen, but they've got to survive. And they've already lost a wicket overnight, and that is Philo Wallace. He was caught down the leg side by Mark Boucher of Alan Donald for 4.
Very simple technique. No extra flourishes. If it's up there, he's quickly into position. Doesn't shuffle around the crease much.
And this is between Jonty Rhodes at backward point and Gully. And even Jonty Rhodes, look at that. I mean, that is quite amazing. In fact, I think it's almost suicidal. He crashed into those advertising boards, but he saved a run.
Well, hopefully he crashed into them with his feet first. Otherwise he could have done himself a nasty injury. But that just shows the goodness of the pitch. That was just a forward defensive prod. It went off quite firmly. Great effort.
Well, when you see this, you sometimes say to yourself, for 1 run, especially in the situation where the West Indians need over 550 at the start of this day to win, is it worth saving that 1 run and crashing into the boards like this?
Yes, probably not, Trevor, but that's the kind of thing that keeps Jonty Rhodes ahead of all the other chasing pack in the rest of South Africa.
Well, this is going to be 4 more.
Not Lance Klusener's best over so far. He's bowled 4 deliveries and all of them have been of different length and direction. And as we all know, if you bowl both sides of the wicket, very difficult to set a field to.
short and wideish, and it's really cracked away by Chanderpaul. Very bright start to his day. Oh, nice shot. Brilliant bit of fielding. Oh, man. It's such a joy to watch.
Here's Gibbs makes the initial effort. But Jonty Rhodes from his position at gully, expecting the misfield in a way and backing up behind him. And then, well, direct hit.
Put away through mid-wicket this time by Chanderpaul. Well, while the South Africans were out there practicing their fielding this morning, and they did so for all of 40 minutes or so, these West Indian batsmen were having a good net. And you can see that because Chanderpaul has come out and he is looking in fine form.
He has taken advantage of an over-pitch delivery. Not much swing, or hardly any swing.
That's a good one. A very good bouncer indeed from Lance Klusener. He won't have taken kindly to 15 runs coming from his first over of the morning, and this is a typical response from him.
Yes, well directed. Chanderpaul plays it well. Keeps his eye on the ball, which is most important.
Knocked away, just backward a square on the onside. Hansie Cronje and Paul Adams both after it. Hansie gets there first with a couple to Chanderpaul. And another 6 runs from that over, 39 for 1. Peel for LBW. Oh, they're adamant. Umpire Rudy Koetsen, a hard man to please, and he says no.
Yes, I like the way he said not out, because it was a huge appeal and Shaun Pollock really made a bit of a meal of it with his appeal. And Rudy Koetsen, feeling that that was just outside the line of off stump, very close, but he said not out in a confident fashion and got the message across to the fielders that, look, they mustn't look for any advantage from him by any extravagant appealing.
Nicely played through the mid-on area. Long chase for Hansie Cronje. He'll get it just before the boundary, and they'll be able to take an easy 3. Oh, a big appeal here for a caught behind. Well, I think it might have come off the pad, and it will be another good decision, I think, here from umpire Rudy Koetsen.
Yes, Ganga, not the most experienced batsman, and you can often tell a lot from his reaction. And it looks like it just clips that back pocket, the back leg. Very good sound. It wasn't a dead sound like it often happens if it brushes the batsman's body. More of a click noise.
Caught this time though, just short outside the off stump, trying to force it away in the air, and another super catch by the South Africans. And now Ganga has gone for the 6th time to Shaun Pollock in the series.
Yes, we were just talking about the fact that there didn't seem to be as much bounce, but this one does climb on him a little bit, and he's intending to play attackingly, bounces on him, and Jonty Rhodes does the rest, makes a difficult chance look, well, average.
So he's been dismissed every time he's gone out to the wicket in a test match by Shaun Pollock. Talk about a bunny. Oh. Darren Ganga gone for 9, West Indies 46 for 2. Meanwhile, Brian Lara has arrived at the wicket, approaching his 5,000 runs.
Pulled away again wide of Cronje at mid-on. He'll haul it in. Wonderful throw on the turn. Desperate effort from Klusner to stop that on his follow-through, but another beautifully timed shot from Shivnarine Chanderpaul.
Raises the West Indies 50. Gone down on his haunches there, Chanderpaul. He really has played Klusner beautifully. Klusner hasn't bowled well. He's tended to overpitch, and Chanderpaul's driving has been exemplary. It's a very hot day, and just wonder if Chanderpaul is being affected by the heat.
Really interesting contest this. Lara having to be absolutely on his game in terms of concentration. Pollock mixing it up in terms of length and line.
That's a good cracking shot, and 4 runs.
Well, gentle medium pace, and he just smacked it away. I must say I'm a little puzzled this morning that Jack Callis hasn't bowled a great deal more. I would have opened up with him.
Oh, it's a new bowler here, Jeffrey.
That's a magic ball. Been wasted on you, that, Gerald. You'd have never got a nick on this.
Like Brian Lara, all great.
Absolutely, all the great players have missed that. Look, got him feeling it. You could say it's a little wide by the time he went to play it, but it was the quality of the bowling. It bounces on him. Look, when it gets to there, he's got to play. Then it keeps going and bouncing, swings afterwards. Well, I can't apologise for it, but I just cannot understand Callis not opening up instead of Klusner with a new ball. He has the ability to swing it and move it, very much like Clive Rice did in his younger days when he was quite slippy and sharp.
Talking about slippy. Trying to hook it back with his feet there. That's a good stop by the captain.
Keep going, Sharky, keep going, boy.
Shot.
Yeah, he's hit that one beautifully. Beats the short cover and to the boundary.
He's got such a good range of shot as Brian that he's going to score somewhere. He's short of a length, bit of width, he's still going to go after it, just cuffs it away. Not a bad over, 64 for 2.
Oh, he's edged that, and I don't think it's carried to Boucher. Angling across the left-hander, and it didn't carry.
Beautifully bowled, just shoving it across him. See, there's such a lot of shuffling goes on with young Chanderpaul. Yeah, that's clearly not carried. I think he's a good player, but 3, he wouldn't be my prime candidate. I think at number 5, he's a much better player. A little bit of shine off the ball.
Oopsie, and he's going to get runs, 4 of them down to third man, and that is the danger of Jacques Callis.
Well, that was magnificently bowled. He's built beautiful, isn't he? Great shoulders, tall man, physically athletic, bends his back, and just at last minute knocks it in, really gets it up there. He's so lucky, is Chanderpaul. Caught him by surprise. No luck for the bowler, but a magnificent delivery. Bends his back.
Yes, it just ran off the face. He's gone for that one, it's in the air. Cronje's running around, he's out. And And a great breakthrough. And Callis is the man who engineers it. Chanderpaul goes. And an absolutely vital wicket. Delight for South Africa.
Well, I probably would like to say that that's not the smartest thinking I've seen by Chanderpaul, but you've got to give a lot of credit to the bowler. Didn't he bowl well the few balls before, setting him up, creating problems, then he makes him miss full, and that's really clever bowling. Give the bowler a lot of credit for working Chanderpaul over. What a cricketer he is. I wish Yorkshire had taken my advice and signed him up 2 years ago. Nice little innings, but it's still West Indies 68 for 3.
So Carl Hooper, major opportunity and a task for him. Very full, and in the end very well stopped by Boucher. That was flying down the leg side. It's deflected, I think, off the outside of the pad, and Boucher, so athletic, does well to stop it. Call of weight, he's going to get runs now. Cornier diving. That ball will roll to the boundary, I think. This ground slopes down towards the boundaries all round and almost gathers pace. 4 runs to Hooper.
Well, the one thing about Carl Hooper, he has such elegant timing. It's just like a little firm push, that's all it was. Little defensive push, in nice control. Didn't get too rigid, his hands, didn't get too far ahead of the pad, but it goes to the boundary. I don't know anybody in world cricket has such quality play as he does, such touch.
Peel for LBW. Umpire Venkat is unmoved, and Paul Adams has to chase from his short leg position with the helmet on to retrieve, and they cross over for a run.
Carl Hooper has been beaten and he's played down the wrong line, cutting back a lot, bowling from very wide of the crease though, and that, although that hits him around about off stump, umpire Venkat obviously thinking that it could have slipped down the leg side.
This is Callis, and down to third man, which is vacant, and 4 more runs between slip and gully. Second slip and gully.
Yes, this is probably, even if there was a third slip in play, he's not going to carry to third slip, bouncing well short.
Is he caught? No. That's a nice take by Mark Boucher.
I think this comes off Hooper's toe. Extra meaning to get your foot to the pitch of the ball.
Oh, you know, there was an appeal for a catch. I think there's a bit of bat there, but was it bat and then down into the ground?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it comes straight off his foot. And then Boucher takes, as you say, a very good take away to his right.
Oh, that's a good delivery. Every now and again, quick bowlers get 1 or 2 to stand up. 80 for 3. And he's going to be given a run here, so that's why any thoughts of LBW were to no avail. 81 for 3. Oh, that's a lovely bit of bowling.
That's what makes Lance Klusener such a difficult customer. He can run up and bowl and look quite ordinary for an over or two, and then suddenly produce a delivery such as this. Movement and bounce off the seam.
That's a great delivery. Beat most batsmen that. Straightening up beautifully off the seam. Well, he hammers this one away through mid-wicket for 4. Extraordinary sort of shot, but effectively played.
Very good shot because it wasn't that short. Slightly short, sure enough, but he hits it superbly. Doesn't try and hit too much across the line. Or a straight batted pull shot. Unusual but very effective.
Standing there.
Lara, LBW, bowled Adams.
Well, Brian Lara's not only disappointed but puzzled at that, and so am I. It looked a very strange decision. So he's playing a shot. How can that be? We'll see a lot of that. Brian Lara's not the only one who's puzzled by that dismissal. That really is a freakish, unusual one. 86 for 4.
And Floyd Reefer, a left-hander.
Oh.
Well, we saw
All your guggy.
Brian Lara quite bemused by the decision, but we want to have another look here. Now, it hasn't hit anything until the back heel. That's a very good view. It's hit nothing at all. The back heel's right in front of middle. Okay, Jeffrey. Just have a look at this Lara dismissal again. He's got his right leg right outside the line. The ball pitches, turns a little, misses everything, hits the heel in front of middle, out. Another big shot this time. Now, we were talking about angles just now, so this is going to be really interesting to have a look at. But what a double blow for South Africa. Lara one over, Hooper the next.
Yeah, I think the difference here, it's almost a half volley and he's missed it. It's that far up. If you watch it, he's wide of the crease. It's up there. He could have got forward to that. Well, they're always doubtful that far. If you're a bowler, you're shouting for him, but if you're a batsman, you're not too thrilled about that, I don't think.
Carl Hooper then. LBW Klusner for 10. And West Indies reeling now at 86 for 5.
Change to close up?
Sure. Close up. जरूरत सभी की. ज्यादा देर तक टीवी देखकर थक गई ना आंखें? ले आइए LG कलर टीवी जिसमें है गोल्डन आई टेक्नोलॉजी जो बदलती रोशनी के साथ खुद को बदल कर दे परफेक्ट पिक्चर ताकि खाने की चीज सिर्फ खाई जाए. LG गोल्डन आई सुप्रीम, इसकी अदा सबसे जुदा.
LG proudly sponsors the '99 Cricket World Cup. LG.
त्वचा की रक्षा, बेजोड़ सुरक्षा. नन्हा Vaseline Petroleum Jelly.
It was our anniversary, so I made the tea. The tricky part was the rose. Then came the music. She loves Mozart. I woke her up. Your aroma's nice, she said. I know. The flavor's perfect. Thanks. Tastes wonderful. I took a bow. Vikram, this is not our everyday cup of Darjeeling. Correct, I said. Because, honey, today's not every day. Rundley at 100% Darjeeling. We know it because we grow it.
फटे होंठ वैसलीन लिप गार्ड मुस्कुराहट वापस लाए.
Gibbs, the West Indian wicketkeeper, he's had a pretty good series, really. He made his debut in the first Test match. This is his 5th, obviously. Now that's sliding down around the wicket. Similar sort of angle. It's the same thing, really. Wide of the crease to the right-hander. Round the wicket is wide of the crease to the left-hander.
Well, he got his foot a little bit wrong, a little bit outside the line, falling over. It looks as if he's in front of the stumps there, isn't it? Probably in front of middle. Just before that, the ball hit him. But it's the angle that's going to take it down leg side.
Runs here. 4 of them. And the end of the over, 89 for 5. Slower ball. Kirsten in pursuit under the helmet. Much quicker ball, and it's beaten everybody.
Well, that looked like his top spinner really fizzed it, did that. Woo. That would have caused a few problems to a real good batsman, particularly a right-hander. And whatever he did, he wants to do this again. Oh, was it the glove?
Oh, he's played that well in the end. I'll tell you, that's gone for only 2. Pollock's on it. Actually, Pollock was a little lazy there. He was teasing them for the 3rd, and they ran it easy. But didn't he play this well?
Yeah, this ball, it just died on him, you see there. He didn't really get up. It was short enough to pull. Looked like a nice, innocent, juicy ball, and then it kept very low on him.
In the air. Adams chases, but he won't get there. So, at least Clousner's discovered one thing. Floyd Reef is prepared to have a hook. I think we might see another fielder go back there.
I think he's also found out the most important thing, but he's a bit late on it and splices it up in the air. They all like to have a dart at it, don't they? They can't seem to let too many go. There's 1 or 2 bowlers here, Callis and this guy Clousner, who are a bit slippy. They get onto you a bit quicker than you think, and not too many times they hit cleanly for boundaries.
It's flown past Slip, got a lot of bat on it. Slip's perched up there very close, obviously, because it's a slow bowler. Good fielding from Callis, good chase. Still a commitment from the South African side, although they have this game by the scruff of the neck. There's no letting up.
Well, this ball's short, so he could watch it, even though it went in the footmarks. He did it clean, but he got enough bat on it. And then the smart fielding.
Umpire Venkat just checking with the 3rd umpire that there was nothing lying on the rope there other than Jacques Callis' leg without the ball. Oh, well bowled.
Hell, that is quick when he bowls that top spinner. It either goes straight on, almost like a flipper, doesn't it? Watch this, and it zips. Actually, just leaves the left-hander. Beat him for pace there. He's playing at that. He's in the wicket-keeper's gloves.
And then the Yorker. Stunned it, he did.
through the covers. Lovely shot, 4 runs. Over-pitched by Adams.
Okay, 4.
Glorious shot. Magnificently played by Jacobs. Overpitched. Always quick to put away the bad ball, really, Jacobs, and to recognize the good ones.
Now he goes airborne, and he's brought it off again, and that's 4 more runs. Another very good shot.
Straight bat, perfectly played. Going right through with a swing. Up and away.
This time just the single. So far in the series, he's been an accumulator of runs, really, while wickets have been falling all around him.
Scott, 4.
But showing us there that he can get onto the attack. 2 good 4s and a single. 9 runs from 3 balls. Is he out? Yes, he is indeed. And Adams has struck. And Reifer is out. It ricocheted off the wicketkeeper and was grabbed by the gully. And it's 6 down.
Well bowled by Adams, faster ball. Reifer doesn't seem to be too pleased with the decision. Let's have a look. Flipped it through. He was on the front foot and off the keeper's shoulder. Catch, 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 they say, and well held right-handed. Umpire Venkat had to raise the finger on the appeal. Reifer, another failure, out for 6. 117 for 6.
Nixon McLean certainly likes to get on with things. Just an average of 15 there. This has got away between third slip and gully and will run down to the vacant third man boundary for 4.
Another good shot from Jacobs, who right on top of it. A lot of slips and gully there, right on top of the ball, and finding the gap between third slip and gully. 4 more to him.
Again he goes the aerial route, and it's a good shot. Just picking the length perfectly there and smashing it down the ground for 4. 126 for 6. Appeal for LBW. Difficult to get an LBW when he is bowling over the wicket to the left-hander. The first thing the umpire has to consider, has it pitched outside the leg stump? If it has, he doesn't have to think any further.
I thought that. Jacobs did show the bat, and Pollock was just asked, did he hit it? And Rooney Kirkson said yes. And we can't be too sure with that, but just a little bit of a show by Jacobs indicated that perhaps that was what he was signaling.
This will be leg byes, and 4 of them. He had a swing at it, and it deflects down to fine leg.
Just a matter of if he's going to read Paul Adams. He does tend almost always just to pull the googly out of the back of the hand coming in, rather than the more orthodox ball which would go away from the left-hander.
And he smashes this one away to the cover boundary for 4. Oh, in fact 6.
He's a mighty powerful man, this Nixon McLean. That is a huge blow over cover. And away it goes, and well taken. So the West Indies lose their 7th wicket. If it was counted that any South African who was anywhere in the vicinity took the catch, McLean would have to go. And it was well taken.
Nonchalantly taken.
Now that just straightened up a little bit. So this will cause maybe a few problems for McLean, but not off the last delivery.
137 for 6. This is well played again because he hits right down on it, bounces up high over the heads of the men in the slip cordon, and they're able to get a couple of runs.
He's done this more than once, right over the top into the ground. He's got men behind there, 3 slips in the gully. So unless he's on top of it, he's in trouble. Right on top of it, rolling the wrists.
Now he's watching where it's going and almost collides with Sean Pollock, who stands his ground. Immediately produces another beauty.
Well, he's bowling really well, Sean Pollock. Good contest between the two of them.
Well, the near collision there. Sean Pollock doesn't want any more wounds. Already got 4 stitches in that cut above his right eye after sweeping at Jonty Rhodes in the nets with a new ball Jonty was throwing to him, and it deflected up into his face. This one he's got away for 4. And he's playing that shot quite well. It's getting right over the top of it.
He really is playing that shot in the approved fashion, right over the top of it. Really jumping there to ensure that he does get over the top of it. Rolls the wrist, keeps it down, and cracks it hard enough for it to go for 4 once it gets the gap.
Misfield there by Herschel Gibbs, and that's 4. That's driven. Left-hander's square drive. And Herschel Gibbs for once missing it.
Well, we're seeing another side of Ridley Jacobs, and every time we see him, he just enhances his reputation. That is a classic cover drive. Now, what will his response be?
There's far too many of them. Very close. Pretty good delivery too. Five no balls. Caught. No. Bouncing just short, and now Pollock will be annoyed with himself in giving away 4 runs, overthrows off his own bowling. Well, nobody to blame this time. We saw him remonstrate with Herschel Gibbs. He can only be angry with himself there.
A little bit of frustration here. Bowled very well at Jacobs. Jacobs has played him well too.
Immediately he's slammed down to the long on boundary. There are 2 there for Nixon McLean, who hit that huge 6 over cover off Adams in the last over. So he goes to 9, and Gerald de Kock and Dave Richardson take you further.
Thank you, Trevor.
It's too far forward. Bit of turn for Adams.
Oh, very full and very well taken by Boucher. Dave, you'll identify with that.
Yeah, the fuller it is, the more difficult it is to take. So pitching in a lot of rough.
He's hit that with a lot of power, McLean. It wasn't that short, but he gave himself room. 160 for 6.
Yes, when he bowls the slow delivery and it's short and wide, well then the batsmen have got plenty of time. Sometimes you get away with it if you push it through the air a little bit quicker.
Well, it's well stopped by Gibbs. Awkward bouncing ball. Oh, that's a cracking shot to go to his 50 for Ridley Jacobs. And it's again richly deserved. This man has been one of the lone stars in this battling West Indies side, Ridley Jacobs. And he's completed another half-century.
Fairly simple technique, back and across, but his weight is very evenly balanced so that if it is pitched up, he can get forward and play superb cover drives like that.
Just running away from him. Full toss, 4 runs down the ground.
That's over.
Oh, he's given that a huge belt, and that'll be 6.
Well, Jacob seems to have no problem picking Paul Adams. Complete confidence as he goes for that, hitting with the spin over mid-on.
Gone for the pull, and we'll get 4 through deep mid-wicket.
Well, certainly those long arms provide some incredible bat speed. And he does hit the ball cleanly. And he's come on really as a batsman since the beginning of the series. Looks far more selective in his shots, or shot making.
Given that an absolute mow, and it's smashed away to the cover boundary. Nixon McLean getting a hold of Daryl Cullinan. Bit of width, and another 4 to backward point, so he's starting to open up. So McLean's getting on with things, and getting on with commentary will be Jeffrey Boycott. He'll take you through this, and he'll be joined by Robin Jackman.
Sky DJ, come on, boy.
Thank you, Gerald. It seems like help yourself time to me. Just toss him up, and I'll hit him. That's what it seems to be, like a little benefit match, really. Charity game. Charity being the 2 West Indian batsmen. I think you might get a few here, Robin. It's gone up in the air as well. Over extra cover. 4. That's good, Daryl, is the call from wicketkeeper Boucher. So they obviously, I suppose they're waiting for this bloke to... McLean just hit one up in the air to a fielder.
Good stuff, first
Bowled him out through the gates. Perfect delivery from Paul Adams. Wants to land it, get the batsman groping forward, and bowl him out through the gate, or the gap between the bat and the pad. West Indies 7 down now.
It was nicely bowled because he flighted it up. He just teased him, and he just pushed out to the covers against the spin. It just gated him. He couldn't have done it any more perfect. It was almost textbook. 198 for 7.
On the rugby fields of Division 1 does battle. 14 teams of 15 men in 80 minutes of brutal conflict. English Rugby Union, Friday on Star Sports.
This rugby broadcast is brought to you by the famous grouse, the Scotch the Scots prefer.
Body odor? Rexona deodorant.
ज्यादा देर तक टीवी देखकर थक गई ना आंखें? ले आइए LG कलर टीवी जिसमें है गोल्डन आई टेक्नोलॉजी जो बदलती रोशनी के साथ खुद को बदल कर दे परफेक्ट पिक्चर ताकि खाने की चीज सिर्फ खाई जाए। LG गोल्डन आई सुप्रीम, इसकी अदा सबसे जुदा।
LG proudly sponsors the 99 Cricket World Cup. LG.
गुस्सा आता है, बहुत गुस्सा। कल रात टीवी पे दिल है के काट दी, कैच।
सभी टीवी प्रसारित पिक्चर दिखाते हैं कुछ हिस्सा काट कर। अब सैमसंग विजन प्लस टेक्नोलॉजी दिखाए पूरी पिक्चर बिना काटे।
गुस्सा? अब कैसा गुस्सा?
फेयरनेस विदाउट खूबसूरत त्वचा, जैसे लाइफ विदाउट टेलीफोन्स।
पाइए खिला रंग और खूबसूरत त्वचा एक साथ। नया पॉन्ड्स ड्रीम फेयरनेस।
That's Mervyn Dillon's career record, just 79 runs at an average of 8, so very much a tail-ender. That's a good shot. One bounce, 4. Jacobs advances. He goes on to 71 now.
Good guy, Daryl.
Yeah, he's picked his deliveries to put away. He just has a nice opportunity here to get a century.
Anyone?
Only one it is. He's smashed that away on the onside. It was more of a heave sweep than anything else, but 4 runs, touch of the gloves, and the end of the over. 209 for 7. Reverse sweeping, bowled. Told you to do it.
Well, that's the best bit of cricket I've seen today, that. Mervyn Dillon hardly ever gets a test run trying a reverse sweep against Daryl Cullinan's occasional off-spinners. Now, this has got to be priceless, hasn't it? I bet they're killing themselves in the West Indian dressing room. Look at that. How did that come about, Merv? Well, I saw it once played. I saw it in a book. I read about it. 209 for 8.
Rion King, right-handed. He was one of the LBW Donald victims with the ball keeping a little bit low in the first innings. Big appeal. Remember the angle he's bowling from. That's hitting full toss on the boot or pad or bit of bat, I don't know. But he can't assume it's going to turn. It's going to miss leg stump, isn't it? Good decision. No, Paul. No, that's louder than me.
No, that's not possible, Robin. You have not been on the receiving end of your appealing. Well, I think the idea was right. He's just going to help it along. But that's what he wants. He wants 2s and 4s. He wants to give as little bowling as possible. Oh, that was the idea was right. Hit with the spin. Ball coming into him. I'm not sure whether he got a touch on that or not. Oh, yes, he did. He'll take him. Every run gets him nearer to a century.
He's gone. So Ridley Jacobs' fine innings has ended with Jack Collis picking up yet another wicket, and Ridley Jacobs, who has resisted so stoutly for the West Indies, goes in the first over after tea, and now just 1 wicket to fall as Jacobs, the last of the West Indies resistance, touches this one to the keeper.
Yes, good bowling from Jacques Kallis. You see the ball rotating there as he bowled a slow ball getting it to pitch, bite a little bit, and then just go away from the left-hander, sufficient to get the edge. Fantastic fighting innings from Ridley Jacobs, but also some attacking shots. A pleasure to watch. Gone for 78. Yes, and I think that's a large measure as we look at Courtney Walsh's batting career. Even 30 not out, it's not going to help him here.
That's the end of the Test match, and South Africa complete the first clean sweep the West Indies have ever suffered in a 5-Test series. The whitewash has been formalized. Alan Donald comes onto the field, hugs, smiles, and congratulations all round as Paul Adams finishes off the Test match with his 4th wicket. As the West Indies are all out for 217, here is how it finished.
Cleverly bowled, the previous delivery quicker, this one held back a little bit, spinning away from Courtney Walsh. A huge big swipe is the best way to describe it, and that's the end. South Africa, well, you can see what it means to them, and I think as history will eventually show, 5-0 is a very big effort and a great one as far as South Africa is concerned.
Brian Lara must be a crestfallen man, but still he can find the sportsmanship to come onto the ground and greet the South Africans, congratulate his counterpart Hansie Cronje with handshakes all around. Plus the whole West Indies team, in fact, is out there, and that's a very good touch, because they must feel absolutely devastated to have become the first West Indies team in history to have lost a 5-Test series 5-0.
Well, there's confirmation of that brilliant performance by South Africa. 217 all out, the West Indies. Once again, Ridley Jacobs head and shoulders above the others, if not in talent, certainly in application with his 78. 43 from Chanderpaul, but I'm afraid the cause was lost when Lara and Hooper went in the middle of the day, just after lunch, both LBW. Boyd Reefer never looked the part, really. The partnerships, well, only the one between Nixon McLean and Ridley Jacobs, but again, too late, the 7th wicket, 81. And the bowling for South Africa, well, Donald hamstrung, but Pollock, Klusener and Adams coming to the party, and Jacques Kallis always troubled the batsman to take 2 for 12. A really top-class performance by Paul Adams, though. Well, there it is. I tell you what, this is a really fantastic performance by South Africa. 351-run victory.
And now, the big moment. He will take away a cheque for 25,000 Rand as winner of this match, 50,000, 100,000 in fact, as winner of the Castle Lager Series, and this magnificent trophy, Hansie Cronje. Hansie, a magnificent trophy. You must be a very proud man.
Yeah, very proud to hold this Castle Trophy aloft, and I must echo what Jacques Kallis said. You know, it's been a long summer, 5 Test matches, but it's been tremendous to play in front of crowds that have been so supportive, and it's good to see them supporting a winning team after the disappointment of England.
The last time South Africa won a series with a whitewash was, of course, Bill Laurie's Australian series back in 1969-70. Did you ever believe that you could beat the West Indies 5-0?
No, I think, you know, as we said right throughout the summer, that we obviously set our goals on playing 25 good days of Test cricket and stick to our own disciplines. And, you know, we're just very fortunate to come out on the right side of all 5 of those. You know, we never really compared ourselves to the 1970 side, but I reckon if we take them on now, we've got a fair chance of beating them because they're all about 45, 50 years old.